Guess who's back? If you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll recognize this Jeep. I built a rear bumper with a tire carrier and a gas can carrier on the tire itself as well. This is the same Jeep that has made it out to the Grand Canyon. I posted a bunch of pictures on the Instagram page, and we are back for a new off-road front bumper. The customer was kind enough to supply me with an entire winch kit, and that'll be going right here in the center of the bumper. So for this bumper, the center is going to be left open. That way we have room for the winch inside of the bumper. Try to replicate this angle right here. We're gonna have to cut into the fender flare right there to even that out. And right here, we're gonna have some tubing going up, over, and down. First things first, let's start removing this bumper. I'm gonna have to fan off this one because it is so fucking hot. I'm gonna start with taking the grill off, then make my way to the bumper. We got 6 of these guys right here. So this is a sensor for the front bumper right here. This plastic piece right here is a part of this entire plastic part of the bumper. So if you fit a screwdriver back here and push this down, the metal piece back here will just clip off and you'll be able to pull it out without having to break anything. Once this little plastic sensor is removed, you can just slide this right off. This plastic sensor is clipped in behind all of this metal piece. So you're gonna have to pop them off and it goes all the way right there. So I'm definitely gonna have to remove the center of this piece. I was gonna also cut this piece off, but it looks like that is headlight support. So I wanna make sure that I keep these. Not a problem because the frame rails are right here and we have a wall right here to be able to put some holes in for the bolts, the mounting bolts. And then that also gives me room to be able to make the winch plate right here and get rid of all of that right there. So I relocated the sensor to this part right here on the frame rail. I also added a zip tie right here to keep it attached up here so it doesn't droop all the way down. Another zip tie here, and it's completely out of the way. Both of the ends of the frame rails are now completely grinded down, everything's cleaned up. And now that nothing is here in the middle taking space, I can start the template for the bumper. The entire front has been removed. I've went ahead and already cut the flares, tucked in all the wires. I think the way that I tackle this build is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do. So I've made this template here for this piece of the bumper. And basically, this is the main portion as far as design goes. I'm going to have this exact same piece on this side too. And the center is going to be left open for the winch. All I really have to do is take into consideration this space here, make sure there's enough here for the winch. And I think I'm basically ready for some fabrication. These are the pieces that go under the headlight and under the turn signal. I'm gonna get this one tacked on to the face piece of the bumper that I have. All right, so the entire bumper is all tacked up right now. I added this piece here to block off the exposed part of the frame. I was gonna leave it exposed, but honestly, this looks a lot better than just it being open. This is the winch plate right here. And then I'm also gonna add some D-rings here and also on this side. The entire bumper is just completely tacked up. Fitment is pretty even all the way through. I'm gonna trim this piece right here at an angle. One more challenge that this kind of bumper presented is leaving the radiator kind of exposed. Obviously we need to protect the radiator. I've got some aluminum here and I'm gonna make a protective plate for the radiator. And that'll bolt in right here, one spot, right here in one spot, and then down here on this support right here. So I drilled some holes for airflow. Also added some tabs up here to mount it to the bumper and also this bottom rail right here. Now that I've got the entire bumper tacked up and the protective plate finished, I'm gonna take all of this off and get the bumper completely welded. At this point, the entire bumper is completely welded. Just a little test fit right now to make sure everything fits. Not even bolted in, so if anything doesn't line up, there's a little bit of room for alignment. Still need to grind out these edges right here to make them real smooth. And I've also cut out the holes for the face of the winch plate. From here, it's basically just cleaning up the rest of the bumper. So I'm gonna get this taken off and start cleaning it up. And that concludes the front bumper build for the Jeep Commander. I really fucking love how this one turned out. This tubing that the customer requested made this entire thing fucking awesome. The winch looks great in here. It fits in there perfectly. We also have this radiator protective plate. The bumper would have left a lot of the radiator exposed. We got some D-rings welded on. Nice thick boys. Fitment is exact, just like the template. Overall, I really enjoyed this front bumper build. And let's take a second and check this thing out too. Since last time it was here, he put a lift on it, he put mud tires, and got all of his wheels on, as well as this roof rack. And this thing is looking pretty fucking cool. And of course, the rear bumper that I built. This thing's a fucking beast. I also want to take a second to just say thank you to everybody that watches these videos. Everybody that has subscribed to the channel. It feels like just yesterday I broke 200 subscribers and I'm almost at 250 now, which is just fucking awesome, man. Just because it makes me so happy seeing that you guys love the work that I do. As always, thank you guys so much for everything. I'll see you guys in the next video.